as I travel, I am always overwhelmed by the strength of a parent's love. I would do anything for my daughters. Anything. So would Josephine. Only she has very few choices. A mother's heart longs for the safety and security of her child, but thousands of mothers are powerless to provide a safe home for their children. Josephine lives in Kibera, at the heart of Nairobi, Kenya. The rest of the world knows Kibera as the world's second most horrendous slum. She calls Kibera home. She lives in a tiny, tumble-down shanty, a room of about 80 square feet. She has 2 roughly built seats and a table. Her kitchen is equipped with a cooking pot and a machete. There are no beds. At night she snuggles together with her 5 children, trying to find comfort on the hard benches and floor. She struggles to earn enough to buy food for her children. In desperation, she goes to the nearby woods to gather firewood, which she sells. Gathering firewood is illegal, and she was arrested just a few months ago. By the grace of God, she was released after 4 months. But during that time, her children had no idea where she was. They were left to fend for themselves. Joseph is just 5 years old. He was extremely frightened and depended on his older brothers and sisters to care for him. But they are only children themselves. I ask myself, how can we help a young woman in such desperate circumstances? How can she even survive? There are few easy answers, but there is a way. Change comes through education, where children are given the opportunity to learn to read and write, preparing them for future employment. School will also provide a hot and nutritious meal every day, relieving some of their parents' burden. They also learn the importance of drinking safe water, regular health care, and sanitation. But most of the children who live in the slums like Joseph will never learn to read, hold a pencil, or be able to spell their own name. A few well-meaning people within the community have tried to put together a small school, but they have nothing. They have used precious resources to rent an empty building from the local slumlord. The children sit on the hard mud floors. There are no desks. The blackboard is old and etched with many years of instruction. There are no books. The alphabet poster they used is a rough drawing made by the volunteer teacher. Unless someone like you chooses to sponsor one of these children, they have little choice. Their learning is seriously impeded by the lack of books, teaching tools, and trained teachers. Many are forced to leave school to work and earn extra income for their families. Others will grow discouraged and seek a better life with local gangs. Josephine prays that a mother somewhere will consider becoming a sponsor. She prays that this mother will walk alongside them, helping them, encouraging them, praying for them. Becoming a child sponsor is so simple. Just call the number on your screen, or you can go to our website and choose the child you would like to sponsor. Your sponsorship gifts are so vital to helping the children in this community. Without your support, the work that is already happening will suffer. There are mothers who volunteer in Kibera every week, giving what little they have to the children and their families. All they have is their time. Women like Alice. Alice considers herself extremely fortunate. Although not wealthy, she is educated and employed. She has 2 sons of her own who she treasures. When she first visited Kibera, she wept and asked herself, where was God in this? But today she sees the dignity of mothers like Josephine, and she has dedicated herself to serve.
It's so moving to see what these children have got to go through. You know, with HIV/AIDS, most of them are orphans. They do not have a mother. They do not have a father. You know, you find in some of the families, the younger child cannot even go to school because they have to take care of the older child cannot actually go to school because they have to mind and, really worry and care and go out and work to make sure that they feed the younger siblings. So if there's anything that you can do, so you find in our culture, people will always volunteer back, whatever that we can do to make sure that we are working towards, changing the lives of those children, because they have a destiny, they have something, and whatever we can do to actually see that they have a smile on their face each day, we will go out of our way and volunteer our time, volunteer our skills, our knowledge, and even our resources. The need in Africa, the need in Kibera is great. I'm sure you've seen how big the slum is, and it's estimated that probably over 100,000 children in Kibera sleep without food. And for me, this is where the Canadians would support. And then it means if a child is sleeping without food, tomorrow they do not even have the resources to go to school. So I'm saying, like, with sponsorship, at least those children can be guaranteed, because currently INUSA is sponsoring some children, and through that support, the few children who are supported, we are able to give the families or the guardians that they live with a food hamper. And the food hamper consists of a portion of beans, a portion of rice, a portion of cooking oil, and just the basic necessities that a child would need, so that at least a child does not need to go hungry when you can support. And also, with education, sponsorship also supports education, the education component. Because although education they say is free in Kenya, you still have to have uniform to go to school, you have to have books. And when your parents are dead, if you don't have a father, you do not have a mother. Guardians normally, they also have a lot of children. So sponsorship helps in making sure that every sponsored child accesses good quality education, because for us, I believe that education is the only key out of the vicious cycle of poverty that these children find themselves in, and it's the only way they can be able to, change their lives and change their destinies for the better.
International Needs sponsorship is unique. That specific support is going directly to that child, so that no child within the sponsorship project will ever sleep hungry. Life is not easy for them, but when a sponsor, someone like you, comes alongside, they have renewed hope. Your gifts, cards, and ongoing support are life-changing.